All right, movie trivia quiz. Okay, you are a true believer. Blessings of the State, blessings of the masses. What movie? All right,
No
here's
idea.
your first.
Winnie the Pooh.
Here's your first hint.
Oh.
I still have no clue.
THX 1138.
Oh,
Yes. Who directed it?
I've never even heard of it.
Oh,
You gotta watch it.
I'm just trying to adjust my color a little bit here.
I'm going to say Martin Scorsese, just because I have no clue.
Same guy who did Star Wars.
Oh, George Lucas.
George Lucas, his first movie. Unbelievably good movie. Anyways.
Yeah, I saw that when I was really young, really impressed by it. In fact, THX 1138 was my my password for the longest time. But I mean, obviously, I've changed it.
Too late.
Too late. Everybody's going to try it now.
I hacked into your crypto account.
I saw the movie later in life again, and I thought, God, this is boring. It was
That's because you
not
weren't
for me.
You weren't high enough. See, I saw it when I was 17, and I was high. It just blew me away, and I saw it a couple years ago, and it still blew me away. I think it's one of the best movies ever. But I watched it during the pandemic.
Oh well, yeah.
And Rob's still high. He's never come down.
Anything Orwellian, anything, yeah. Anyways, so how you doing, Robin?
Doing super. It's been really busy, and I've done a few things that have made it busy. So I figured I'd share some of those ideas with you.
Cool.
Keep in mind, I'm the laziest photographer on the planet, so it's something anybody can do. And
do tell.
Do tell. I switched we talked about this, I think, last time. Online booking calendars. I was using somebody else, and they were friggin' amazing. Right. Just like they were like a business partner. They're just so intuitive and everything. And of course, they were bought out by some other company that was anything less than intuitive.
They screwed it up.
They did, and like really bad. So I switched again, and it's no fun switching online booking systems because it means having to transfer your customers over, and you've already got appointments booked, and now you got to reschedule everything. But I started using. I've seen it talked about. We all know Square. Cards, credit card.
I use it.
They offer Square Appointments, which is they offer a free version, which is absolutely fine for a one-man band. And it works really well. One of the nice things I like about it is you get your calendar. First of all, I like the free thing. But one of the things I like about it is when a person books in and they come into your studio, you just pull out your phone and you click on their name on their appointment, and they automatically, like all the credit card info, they don't have to do anything again. It's already there. It just made it easy. But the thing that I found was it's like any kind of software business. You got to sort of tweak it to what you like.
Okay.
So one of the main things is I tweak in at 3:00 every day my afternoon nap, so nobody can book me, at 3:00 because I'm sleeping at that point. The other thing is you can limit when people can book you, because I have problems with people booking me, 2 months in advance, and then you turn down other work for that date, and then, at the last minute they reschedule or cancel. Or you give up a Christmas seat sale to Mexico or something because you've got this $79 portrait booked. Cool. So I only book now 2 weeks in advance. And and like all real professionals, I have a long weekend every week. So I've started taking Mondays off, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays off. Nice. And the thing, so basically, I'm still booking. Well, I was booking two shoots every day. Now I'm booking 3 a day because of the more condensed, which is great. And I have the things set up so that things that require a background, like a standard portrait background, are on certain days. Like I mentioned, lazy, right? So I have like background setups on certain days, headshot setups on other days where I'm just using a white background or gray background. So it means I don't even have to change backgrounds during the same day. So the next, when I do my headshots or whatever, I set up the headshot and I don't have to touch the background for the day. And then the next day, if it's, families or grad photos or whatever, I set the background up once, done for the day, and that way I get time to squeeze in a nap.
Most essential.
You laugh, but it is, and it's not even optional once you get to a certain age. It's
It's a
you
thing.
can be in the middle of a shoot and just doze off anyways.
I have power naps, so like 5 to 8 minutes, I'm done.
See, that's good. I'm usually 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 90 minutes, but depends on how I slept the night before.
Yeah. So I want to recap what you just said there, Robin. Square appointments. And two things I want to know: do you know how much they charge? And you mentioned the fact that it's tweakable, which is obviously very important.
I think they're all tweakable. It's free, and then if you want to go for the one step up, which allows you, and it's stuff I don't need. They do give you the option of, I'm trying to figure out how they phrase it, no show guarantee. So if a person wants to book an appointment with you, here's their credit card number. They have to put in a credit card number, or they just it won't. And
okay, you can. That's an option, right?
That's an option. And I tried that for the month because they give you the free upgrade for the month. And I'm sure it might have been a coincidence. All of a sudden, you go from booking 3 a day to booking, almost none. Because I think when it comes to photographers, that people don't want to book an appointment online and have to give a credit card number up front. The business people always do. Business people seem to understand business. But, if you're doing grads and stuff, I think they're very hesitant. And there's a lot of people out there, younger people, that don't use a credit card. It's all, Interact. It's all debit card,
Interesting.
Yeah, so I've noticed that years ago because I was running into the problem with no shows. That's one of the reasons too that I'm shooting 3 appointments a day. So that's 12 a week. Let me do this math. 4 times 3, 12 a week. So I sort of budget that in so that if I do get a no show, I'm not devastated. Whereas if you get a no show and you're only booking 2 appointments a day, that's devastating. So I'm hoping to book 2 a day. I book 3 a day, knowing that I'm going to get the odd reschedule, the odd no show. Yeah. So I just
interesting.
It's fascinating. What can I say?
I don't use online booking at all, but I'm kind of fascinated by it. I know John uses it, and I know my buddy John Robbie, who's a grad photographer, uses it, and I know others like Nancy Tilburg and what have you. I'm reluctant. So, but in time, I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, increasing my prices. Nobody gets to book a ferry session unless they pay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just our rule. And so I'll tell you what else I am sort of one of the reasons I'm reluctant, and it takes away the personal. I like, we get on the phone, right?
Yep. No, I get that. And it makes perfect sense. But like I said, I'm booking 3 a day, so some people don't seem to mind.
Yeah.
And when they show up, I kind of make up for it because, well, like you, I guess I'm very funny. No, I mean, you're very personal, and you know what I mean. The thing is, I get a lot of people booking. You'd be surprised, and I've talked to other people too, other businesses. You'd be surprised how many appointments get booked online after midnight.
Really?
I don't know if it's shift work. I don't know what it is. Or if it's, oh my God, tomorrow's Tuesday. The boss said I had to get my picture in by Wednesday. I get a lot of appointments booked, certainly after 10 p.m. I get enough. When you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden, I booked 3 appointments while I slept. And
really?
It takes time. It gives me time so that I don't have to spend time on the phone. And if I'm doing a shoot, right, I don't have to say, wait a minute, don't move. I got to go answer the phone to book another appointment. It just, it makes the people that I'm here with my sole focus of attention here. So, and I don't know about you guys, but I buy so much stuff on. I think I'm getting COVID. I think I do a lot of shopping online, and it's just an online thing now. Like it's just. People working from home, and I get the odd call, and I know I'm not supposed to do it, but sometimes I just refer it back to the website. And instead of having, you used to get emails, and people would say, I want to book a business headshot. Can you tell me all the times you have available over the next 2 weeks? I would sit there and go, well, Tuesday at 10, Tuesday at 11, Tuesday at, and for the next, no, I just say, hey, listen, I got my online calendar. It's literally up to the minute. So if somebody reschedules, somebody cancels,
all right,
it becomes available right away. It makes things easier for me.
Who do you use, John?
Well, I have a couple of I use Square also for my payments and stuff like that, and I've looked into doing scheduling and stuff. But
You don't.
I was always
scheduling. I thought you were using.
I do use another one, but I was looking at Square because I'm wondering if it would be easier because I like the idea if they could pay up front when we do when you do your fairy portraits or I do my Christmas specials where they have to pay in order to be guaranteed that spot. I would like that because the company I use, which is Calendly, it's a great calendar to use. But if you want to upgrade or have them where they have to pay up front and upgrade to it, they only use PayPal or Stripe, I think it is, and I don't want to use either one of them. I already have Square here, so if I could get Square maybe even once a month just for that time we do those specials and upload it where they book their time and then they could pay for it right up front.
Can you show two things? Can you show Brian's comment? Hey, Brian Coleman from Timmins.
I showed the one.
There's a new one.
Yeah,
John,
I see it.
You got to turn your mic down. It's really loud.
Okay, yeah, it reset it when for some reason they did some upgrades here, and I guess they just wanted me to be predominant. I don't know.
Yeah.
They just wanted me to be louder than Rob. How's that? Is that a little better?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Turn it down. And I have a bone to pick with you.
Who?
With me?
Yes.
Okay. So
I see some comments on Facebook where you were at Algonquin College shooting a bunch of students.
Convocation, yes.
Literally a 10-minute walk from my place. And I don't care that you shot it. I mean, I think it's insane that you would go that far, for that sort of thing. You didn't even drop in to say hi.
I'm definitely going to have to do that in the next time.
If I got a knock on the door and said, hey, I'm here, and can I come in for a coffee? I would love to have talked to you.
Especially the first time we did it in June because we did 4 days straight. We actually got a hotel down from the Canadian Tire Center because it wasn't worth going back and forth.
Yeah, no.
And the reason we did it too was because they had told me they called the Algonquin College here in my town here, Pembroke, and said that just to let them know that their photographer apparently retired from doing it, they said, and that they thought they used the same person, and they're like, you might want to get somebody. Like, oh, well, we don't use that. We have a local guy here does it, and that's how they contacted me. And I didn't even know you're around that area. I would have definitely dropped in.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't have done it. But you also have to thank me for not having you arrested. Algonquin, I went back to Algonquin for 4 years, night school, to do marketing. And one of the things that I learned at Algonquin when we were doing the law class was, and I'm assuming this applies to you, that if you ask for a bribe in the city of or in the province of Ontario, you can be arrested criminally.
Yeah.
And so this is in the back of my mind from Algonquin College Law. And so I get an email from Algonquin College Student Association and said, our photographer is retiring, or we don't like the whatever it was. Would you like to be our school our grad photographer? So I thought, I don't usually like to work that way. Like, I don't want to go out and photograph 500 people in a day.
Yeah.
I'm happy doing 2 or 3 and doing them well. Anyways, they sent out the thing, and I'm filling in my experience. I'm filling in all this stuff. And then I get to the second page, and it's, how much will you give us for, how much do you charge for a sitting fee, and how much of that will you give to us? Mm-hmm. And then it's, what do your packages cost, and what percentage will you give to us? And you can't do that. I mean, that's illegal. So I went through it, and it started bugging me after, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to forward that email to the Ontario government and just say,
I don't blame you,
John and the Students' Union, but I couldn't find the email. So anyway, no,
I tell them when I do the grads here, I don't charge them to show up. I know I should, but I don't charge a sitting fee. But I have my packages, it's online ordering, and I don't give them anything. Everything I make goes to me. I don't give them anything. So
that's good.
Maybe it's a win-win that way. I don't charge them to be there, but at the same time, they don't take any percentage of my sales.
I may have said something. I may have responded to the email just saying, that's illegal, and I don't want to do. I'm not taking part in any of this. But
I wouldn't do it if that was what they wanted. I wouldn't do that either.
No, because one of the things that was explained to us when we were taking law through the marketing program was that, when you were younger, they used to have like a CD of the month club, album of the month club, book of the month club. And if you refer a friend, we'll send you 5 free books or albums or whatever it was. And then the disclaimer was not valid in Ontario. And they explained that's why. It's the Ontario government, unlike all the American states and all the rest of Canada, they see that as a bribe.
Interesting.
So anyway, I mean,
it's very unethical. I agree with you.
Well, everyone does it, but
it happens a lot. So, anyways, let's move on to your experiences, Robin, with the last 2 conferences you went to. Both in Chicago and Texas, which was the last 2 months.
And those are the first. I'm trying to remember now, but those are the first photography conferences, that sort of thing, that I've been to. I bet you in well over a decade.
Okay.
And I mean, with the exception of going with you to see the trade show and stuff at a couple of the PPOC ones.
What motivated you?
Pandemic. I made a whole bunch of money during the pandemic, and I was going crazy sitting here all the time. So I thought, I got to get away, and I don't care where it is.
Just get out of town.
Yeah, just get out of town. And there was a photographer that I've been following, Gary Hughes from Florida, and he was speaking in Chicago. It was a day and a half or a 2-day workshop / seminar. And it was really good. I have several of his videos that I've subscribed to through Creative Live, and they were really good. But you see videos and you get questions. So I had a list of 5 questions. I don't remember what they were, but here's some of the problems. How do you handle it? Anyways, by the end of the thing, he answered all my questions. He does somewhere between 5,000, 8,000 headshots a year.
Wow.
Well, yeah, wow. But he does what we call John work. And that's when you show up and just photograph a ton of people. I'm just trying to be a smart ass. Like he'll show up to a conference, and part of the deal is he photographs everyone there.
Oh, I know.
All 500 people, like 30 seconds each, sort of thing. And that's really great. And it's very motivational, but again,
it's volume.
It's not the type of work I want to do.
Sure.
It's volume, and it's not, like I mentioned before.
Something's printing.
Those are the things I don't want to forget to talk to you about. And I finally woke up. Anyways, I like talking to people, and learning about them and stuff. I can't do that in 30 seconds.
No, it's true.
And besides, a lot of times when you do the convention, it interferes with my 3:00 nap time. So they won't let you put that in the contract, apparently.
No, exactly.
Anyways, it was really good. He talked about the latest software, that sort of thing, designed more for that.
Yeah.
There were a few really interesting things during the seminar, and I walked away I think I said that I had 11 pages of notes and 2-page to-do list when I got back to Ottawa. Anyways, a few of the really interesting things that I found. First of all, with him, it was 99% business. Okay. But he does the lighting thing too. And lighting is kind of, I think of it as being sort of ridiculous. I mean, like it's so easy, it's easy to do. Photographers are obsessed with it. So I guess that's why he throws it in. But it was basically just one big softbox. And I think it was an 80-inch softbox. Softbox round, and then, but he was using the Eyelighter 3.
Okay,
have you seen the big U shape?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, he's doing the shoot, and he's using the Eyelighter thing, and saying how good it is and everything. And then the next day he's using just a regular reflector, and decided not to use the Eyelighter. And when we started comparing results,
really
nothing, and the audience, we were all saying, I'm sure if you zoomed right in, you'd see that sort of that scoop reflection in the person's eyes. But for just regular lighting wise, just a regular little $29 reflector works just as well as a $300.
So that's the main point. Anything will work. You're not saying don't use a reflector. You're saying still, but any reflector will work.
Yeah,
even if
just
you're using tinfoil.
And that's always. And I think James is similar in that you don't need the newest equipment. You just have to know what you're using, and and do your own thing.
Light
The
is
other
light.
thing, the other thing that I thought was really, really good, and I've always complained about this. Whenever you go to a convention or anything, they always bring out models, male and female kids and stuff, that are stunning.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to be a complete moron not to be able to get a good photo. But what Gary Hughes was doing was he would just grab photographers out of the audience. So
Uh-huh.
you get people with receding hair, you get people with double chins, and and all this stuff, and have
Regular folks.
regular, and that's who I photograph.
Yeah.
Um, and
Good
it
point.
was nice to see. You get somebody who's a little heavier, how he angles them to make it look like they're not. So you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was really well done.
I get Gary Hughes' emails all the time, his newsletter and stuff.
Yeah.
And look at his little videos and stuff.
Yeah, he's a big.
He's in
he
Florida,
gets a
I
lot
think,
of-
or something, isn't he?
Sorry.
Isn't he in Florida or
Yeah,
something?
Orlando. Yeah.
Orlando.
Yeah, he does. He's getting into reels and things like that, where he does, 10-second videos, because that's what people are watching now. He's really up on the on all that stuff, on the latest social media and stuff, and he has it down to a science. He's really good. The funny thing, not funny, the expensive thing about the trip to Chicago was, I flew from Ottawa to Chicago. When I landed in the airport, I had to get from the airport to Aurora, and there's no shuttle bus service, there's no nothing, so I had to take an Uber, and I'm fine with Uber, I'm okay. And when I phoned the hotel, they said, well, can you get me a shuttle bus? No, we don't have a shuttle bus. So I had to take an Uber, and I said, well, how much exactly do you think this is going to, probably $90 US, right? And for me, that's a lot of money. So anyways, I ended up taking the Uber from Chicago Midway, which is the airport, closer to the hotel. Cost me $98 US. So that's like 130 Canadian, which is bad enough. But the city of Chicago, when you pick up, the Uber people pick you up within the city limits. The city of Chicago charges you a 30% surcharge.
What?
Yeah, and apparently it's the only city that does that. And the Uber drivers are having a fit. I guess there was some sort of a taxi thing where they complained about Ubers. So anyways, it cost me $100 US plus a $30 surcharge. Okay, US. Okay, so you add almost 40% to that. Yeah, so it was like $200. It's an hour and 15 minutes, and of course, when I drive back to the airport from the hotel, I think it ended up costing me 78 US, because I guess the timing was different. How they vary, and then of course, because you're going from outside Chicago into Chicago, there's no surcharge. But back and forth between the hotel and this other place where they were holding the conference or workshop or whatever, was $25. There was $25 twice a day. My point is that taking an Uber over those 2 days cost me more than the round trip flight from Ottawa to Chicago and back. It's ridiculous.
Who'd you fly with?
Porter.
Nice. I love Porter.
Yeah, they were really good. The other weird thing about the conference in Chicago that I thought is worth mentioning, it was through the Professional Photographers of Northern Illinois. These people are incredibly nice, friendly, unbelievably organized. I'm used to the PPOC stuff where, but they were so nice. I mean, you show up and continental breakfast is waiting for everybody, and they had coffee and tea and soft drinks and water and stuff available all day long, snacks available all day long. They brought in lunch included, and it was nothing. I think I paid $99 for the 2 days, 99 US. But I mean, this included basically your breakfast, your lunch, and anyways, it was really well done.
Nice.
Then, geez, I don't know, about 3 weeks later, I went down to iHeart Photography in Grapevine, Texas, through the Texas Professional Photographers. I was down there for a few days. And it was nice. The guy that brought me down to speak, Bill Hedrick, 21 years ago, to speak at the convention. We've been good friends ever since. We email each other back and forth all the time. And so after the convention, I got to hang out with him for a couple of days. But speakers I saw, there was a bunch. My only complaint about the whole thing, 2 complaints, and Rob, you'll say, don't be such a wiener, but they did supply. They did have a cafe within the convention center, but it was meat products only. You had a choice; it was either a hamburger or a cheeseburger. I said, "Well, where's the veggie burger?" And somebody took me out to one of the local Mexican restaurants. We got vegetarian food. But the speakers, the one thing I picked up on, I saw basically 3 speakers. They had, and I guess this is sort of normal with conferences and things, they always have 2 speakers back to back, speaking at the same time, same date, different rooms, and you want to see them both, right? So I went to see one, couldn't see the other one, and the first guy was Guy T. Phillips, again talking about headshots and that sort of thing.
Right.
Identical lighting that Gary Hughes was using, and very interesting guy. Different way of looking at things as far as business goes and stuff. Gary Hughes does basically just headshots. Guy T. Phillips does a bit of everything, I think. And we talked, and he gave the thing, and everything was a very sort of a intense, very sort of a rushed day with him. And then the next day, I ran into him in the hallway, and I said, can you answer a couple of questions for me? I said, you speak so fast that I said, when I'm writing down an idea, I miss 2, right? So we sat, and he sat with me for an hour and a half, and we went over everything, and he was just so nice. So I missed some of the speaker, but I saw 2 women speakers. The one thing I noticed between the 3 speakers, all very successful, all different sort of fields of photography, but they were all funny. They loved their job. They were laughing. They were joking. They're just naturally very humorous, dealing with the models and everything, and their little videos are funny. And it occurs to me more and more that this is a people business. It's not a technology business. It has nothing to do with histograms. It has to do with making people smile and relaxed and, that sort of thing. But we had a couple. Let me just grab my notes here. There was a couple of things I learned from them. Where are they? Oh yeah,
that's what just printed off on the printer.
Actually, I think it came off twice because I hit the button twice because I was mad. Cindy Arthur, she was talking about photographing seniors as they do down there. Beautiful work. She's only been in the business a couple of years, and a lot of people, you probably don't know this, but a lot of people sell digital files. And well, I know that you guys know that. So anyways, there's a lot of pressure from the industry. Don't sell digital files. I'm sure it comes from the labs. Don't sell digital files, sell print, because you have the control over it and everything. So she's trying to get away from selling digital files to just doing prints.
Right.
So her solution was, and I was shocked by this part B, what she did was she had prints made up. She took the same digital image, had a print made at her professional lab. She had the identical print made up at Walmart, one made at Walgreens, and one made at Costco.
Really?
So that when the customers came in, they said, well, we just want the digital files. And she would say, well, that's fine. I do sell them, but here's the difference. Here's the difference between, what I'll sell you as compared to Walgreens and Walmart and Costco. And she said it really helps her print sales a lot, having. So I thought that's brilliant. That's really brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Who was that, Robin?
That was Cindy Arthur,
a speaker at one of the Texas event.
Yeah, at the Texas school. Anyways, so I thought that's brilliant. Went on my to-do list. Got back to Ottawa and took a grad photo, one that I had just sent off to the Pro Lab, and I ordered an extra 5x7, and I sent one to Costco and I sent one to Walmart, and they eventually came. Costco took the longest, but anyways, So I get the 3 back, and guys, I'm friggin' stunned. Like, I'm just, this
Really?
can't be right. So all 3 of them were totally acceptable, which shocked the heck out of me.
You didn't expect that.
Didn't expect that. And
Okay, what labs again? The Pro Lab and
the Pro Lab I use, which remain nameless,
yeah.
I really like them, and I just,
And did you say Walmart?
Walmart and Costco. Of the 3, Costco was maybe a slight bit on the blue side. The lab I used was, again, less blue. Like, just, we're talking, how photographers are. We're so friggin' exact, eh?
Yeah.
And Walmart came out on top, and I was shocked. I mean,
Really?
it wasn't just me, but I showed my wife, and I showed a couple of people that came over that are family members, and I said, here's 3 prints. Which one's the best? Everybody picked the Walmart print.
Unbelievable.
It
Walmart used to have crappy printers. They must have upped their game. And I know Costco uses the same printer that my Pro Lab uses. So they've always done a good job.
Yeah.
But they don't have a lab anymore at our Costco here. It's all
Well,
centralized.
they have to mail it to you.
So what's your final conclusion then on all this? Obviously, it flies in the face of her strategy.
Yeah, but you have to remember, this was a one-off. Now, if I was to repeat that test tomorrow, I'd probably find that my Pro Lab turned out the exact same quality, and Costco may be a little lighter, it might be darker, it might be pinker, it might be green. Like, my conclusion was that it's a consistency thing. I think I'm guessing that I hit all 3 when everything was good. I'm under the impression that Costco is very good. They're up and down a little bit depending on who's doing the balancing and stuff. The same with Walmart. So if I was to
can I bring up one point and ask you about your we used to do a lot of printing at Costco. We don't anymore, but we did for promotional work and what have you.
Yeah.
Or if we had a last minute, we needed an 8x10, we'd always send it in and say, "Do not autocorrect."
Yep.
You doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you're letting the equipment do the job, but I'm sure the equipment has been calibrated to some degree, and perhaps.
But when we were dealing with Costco, and it was, again, if you get a rush job, like, and we've done it every year, you get a rush job where you need 230 8x10s the next day, then Costco is pretty well your only choice. But I found that, and we'd send all our family stuff there, like family as far as our own family, like Christmas photos from the kids and stuff. I wouldn't send customer stuff there. But again, though, depending on who showed up first thing in the morning and who balanced the machine, or if they forgot to balance the machine, sometimes your stuff would be, green or too light. I always found Costco were so insistent on, if you weren't 100% happy, they would redo it while you waited. They were great customer service. But anyways, I was shocked by that. I'm going to try to see what else that I forget here. Got it.
Are you gonna send in another test just for fun?
No. So what I did was, I was talking to my friend when I was down in Texas, Bill Hedricks. He's the editor of the Texas Professional Photographer magazine, just called The Photographer now. And we were sitting there in his office, and he had this big printer sitting up on his top shelf, and he was really sort of pushing the advantages of high quality color printer for yourself. So I kind of got sold on it. I was talking to Dan Morency, because when you and I were and James were out in Montreal, he was really very happy with his Canon printer. So I emailed him and I sort of said, I'm thinking of getting a printer. Are you still happy with your Canon? And he gave me the sales pitch on it, really loved it and everything. So I ended up going out and buying myself that's an interesting story. Went up and bought myself a printer, the Canon, is it Pixma or something? Pixma Pro 200.
Right.
I think it does up to 13x17, something like that. I don't really know.
Yeah.
So, and I've been dicking around with that ever since, and it seems to be really good. So,
yeah.
My only complaint with dealing with the Pro Lab is they're charging me $12.50. Like if I order a 5x7 or a little package, it's $12.50 shipping. This way, I thought, well, if I can do it myself, if I can fine tune my own printer, especially with Christmas coming up, Maybe I'll start doing some of my own. The
Uh-huh.
interesting story is, I decided, okay, Dan Morency sort of said, well, I'd recommend this printer or that printer. They don't make his anymore, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up ordering this Pro 200. Tried to order it from Henry's because, I'd like to support, local or Canadian businesses if I can,
Yeah.
Yep.
So I tried to order this thing at 9 o'clock in the morning. And by 4 o'clock, I gave up. I kept putting the order in, and it wouldn't accept my credit card. And it's the business credit card, and there's like a insanely high limit on that. I won't say how much, but I could buy a car with that thing.
Uh-huh.
And I don't owe a balance. Since business has picked up, I've never had to pay. There's no balance on any of my credit cards, and it kept coming up and saying, try again later, try again later, try again later.
Really?
Yeah, and that's that with the paper and the stuff, it was $1,000 sale going to Henry's.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I phoned them and said, look, I'm having problems. And they said, oh, well, I've seen that before. It's probably your credit card. There's something happened. And, I said, I don't think it's a credit card. He says, well, phone your bank and check. So I phoned the bank, and they said, no, your credit card's fine. In fact, there had been no attempts, like Henry's hadn't even tried to put the order through, like put the credit card through. So I thought, I'm not going to phone them back again. Screw it. So I checked, and I get the same exact price on Amazon. So I phoned it up, ordered it on Amazon, and had it, I think, the next day or the day after.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I deal with Amazon for, if you need to buy new socks or something. I don't like to order big professional equipment through it.
Yeah.
I just.
Well, that changed.
And I don't know if, I've ordered other things well over $1,000 through them lately too, photographic. But where was I going with this? Something about
You're having trouble
printer.
with ordering it with the printer.
Yeah.
Henry's. And I'm the same way. Like DNP, I did the same thing.
The other thing is with Vistec, I don't even know. Are they still really in business?
They are.
I think so. They're
What-
promoting. I get their
I'm under the
emails.
impression that, because I get on their website and stuff, and I'm under the impression that Vistec is not Vistec. It's just sort of a drop shipper. So
It's a ghost company.
you order it, pay Vistec, and then they call Manfrotto or whoever, and then ship it from Manfrotto. Like they're just kind of taking a commission on everything.
It's possible.
As far as I know, they still have their Ottawa and Toronto stores, as far as I know.
It could be. I don't know. All I know is I ordered a head through them for the tripod, a brand new something Manfrotto head, $300 and some, and it said it'll take a month. And I thought, oh well. So I wait. I think, okay, I'll wait for the month. And the day before it was supposed to be delivered, I get an email from them just saying, sorry, it's now on back order.
Oh,
So I figured, again, get it from
Not good.
Amazon.
did you get it from Amazon?
I got other stuff from Amazon. I never did get that head, but I've, I hate, like I said, my preference is to buy Canadian
I hear
or
you.
local. But
So speculating, would you assume that had you gone Amazon straight off, it would have been no problem? 3 days, boom.
oh yeah, I'm sure they got them in stock, ready to ship. Yeah.
So
Well, that's like my. Sorry, Rob.
Vistec's missing the boat there somewhere.
Well, yeah.
I got to tell you, 7-8 years ago when I switched to Sony, I needed an 85 mil. I wanted the Batis lens, which is a rare lens. It's kind of like a boutique kind of lens.
Yeah.
And I ordered it from Vistec, and I had the same experience. But I eventually got it. It took like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's
That's
like,
what,
God,
that's what I mean. I
hell.
don't get it. But I ordered another lens from them. It was one of the new Tamron zoom lenses. It was like, I don't know, $1,200 or something. Again from Amazon. And I mean, here it is. And the nice thing about Amazon is if there's no question, if you're not 100% satisfied, just ship it back to give you your money back.
Yep.
Whereas you get to deal with other companies. Well, yeah, we can take it back. There's 15% restocking fee, and it's just, I'm sure it has something to do with COVID and something to do with the way business is now going. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
When I was getting my DNP printer that I use for location stuff, and I tried to go through Vistec or through Henry's, but none of them sold it. And then I did find a place in Canada that sold it, but I ended up buying it from B&H in
Yep.
New York there because
Yeah.
to buy it, the price for the printer plus it came with a case and one box of paper and ink, it was cheaper even with the exchange rate and the shipping than it was
Yep.
buying it from this Canadian company.
Yep.
B&H, they're New York, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I deal
yeah,
with them
they're
a
good.
lot.
And
They're
so I ended
good.
up buying it from there because I got it for cheaper than if I bought it from this Canadian company, which was really ridiculous.
One of the things that with this new printer is a lot of times when I do portraits, I always sort of include a few extra wallets, that sort of thing. Um, but when I first tried this new printer, it kind of printed them, there's a little bit of a border. It's taken me a while to figure out the formatting and stuff. Anyways, one of the things that I hate doing is cutting wallets. I get my big paper trimmer, right? So I started looking into a wallet cutter, die cut thing where you just sort of stick it in and you hit the button and it just cuts the wallets for you instantly.
Yep.
And couldn't find one. Everybody, when you try and buy them direct, everybody's sort of back order or whatever, except for Amazon. Amazon's got it ready to go. I still haven't talked myself into spending the $180. But, well, no, I mean,
it's a pitch for Amazon. Sadly enough, for all the local small country camera suppliers, I mean, maybe the professional market is just not something they're interested in.
Yeah.
I'm guessing in part that's true, and the bulk of the photographers who are buying equipment are probably,
yeah,
part-timers and what have you.
It's funny you should say that. When I was down in Chicago, the Uber would pick me up at the hotel and take me out to ProCam. ProCam's a big professional store. They have 3 locations, I think. One of them was in Chicago in Aurora. And you walk into this big store. They have all this pro equipment. And I'm looking around and thinking, well, I must have the wrong address. And I said to the guy, I said, I'm here for the Gary Hughes seminar. Oh, he says, and he takes me into the back. Big camera store. And I'll make this up, but I'll say maybe half of it was camera store. And then they had a back room that was all set up to do seminars and all that stuff.
Sweet.
Nice.
And the professional photographers of Northern Illinois, apparently once a month or whenever they do their seminars, use the back of the store. They got all the chairs there. They got the stage. They got the lighting. They have a built-in, video camera so they can show you up close what the speaker's doing.
Yeah.
It was really well, and they got like they call it a cove, the big white thing that they're doing, and they got places for and then so you have to go through the store to get there, and then you see the seminar, and you get some guy like Gary Hughes saying you need one of these eyeliner 3s, and you go back. Nobody got to the parking lot. Everybody went to the store and just buy all the stuff, right?
Exit through the gift shop.
It was super.
I think B&H does the same thing. I think they do their seminars in the store too.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
B&H, they also do all kinds of videos, very helpful videos and stuff too.
Yeah.
Aurora does that. Aurora, the company, not the city. But yeah, a lot of the American stores, retailers like that are getting a lot smarter when it comes to marketing and selling.
It's all about sharing information. I mean, really, there's nothing sacred. Might as well be the one who shares.
Yeah, you and I disagree on that, but there's certain things that I don't share.
Okay, well, let's say generally share. I'm sure you'll agree on some point. So,
yeah, it's just once again, I see I have somebody that I consider a very good friend here has been copying stuff for me that I would have thought, hey, she's above that sort of thing. But again, I guess it depends on how your business is going. There's too many people. Like I get, I admit that maybe I'm getting a little paranoid, but I'm getting too many people sort of copying too many of my ideas and prices and taglines, and you sort of figure that's the bottom feeders, but maybe not. It's disheartening, And talking about weird stuff, a question for you guys. So on my website, I offer, grad photos and headshots and families/couples, but I also do individuals. I'm trying to figure out another wording that I can use instead of families, instead of families and couples that sort of encompasses everything that's not grad photos and not commercial.
Are you saying that to sound more inclusive, to spread the message?
I got it. Anyway, yeah.
That why?
No, so I was thinking, what? And I was,
Tribe? Tribe? Use the word tribe?
tribe? Yeah, it might be a little too confusing. I guess it depends on the age of the people.
I don't know what's wrong with family, because family does include everybody. It
Yeah,
could be.
no, that's yeah. Maybe I was going to change it to that, but I don't know if that would really. If somebody wants, I got a call the other day. Somebody wanted photos of themselves in their military uniform.
Yeah.
So like individuals.
Yeah.
So would you say that would include the term family? Does that include individuals? Do you think?
To me, that would still be considered like a corporate or professional headshot type thing, or portrait, I guess.
Yeah, but my
Personal portrait. I don't know.
If it's family and couples and stuff, I include photos. Like they have the option, but when it comes to headshots, it's digital or
I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know what you mean.
So I came up with
art portraits. I don't know.
What do you call it?
Art portraits, like
Yeah,
ART.
to me that says that's photographer speak for nude.
True.
So and you don't want to bring grandma and grandpa in their 50th anniversary and have them stripped down. So
everybody get naked. We're doing art pictures.
I'll probably switch the family just to see what it. I was thinking me and mine.
That's that. I like that.
Would be a single.
You and yours.
Yeah,
you and yours. I like that.
So I was thinking that, of course, within 3 minutes, 9 million people are going to be stealing that on me. But
whatever. You need to get over it.
No, I don't though. I'm like you. I read a lot and I think a lot, and I try and come up with unique sort of marketing thing, and then to have somebody you put it up on your website, 10 seconds later, 18 people have stolen it because they don't.
And that's the unfortunate way of life. I mean, you can't copyright an idea, unfortunately, and so
well,
no, you can't. See, not an idea.
The way I look at it, most people are too lazy to show up over and over and over again. So as long as you're the person who shows up over and over and over again, you're going to leave them. Doesn't matter what they copy. That's the way I see it. So,
well, my other solution is, so I'm contacting somebody in Haiti to do voodoo curses.
They have those on Fiverr, $9.99.
Do they?
No. Hey, listen, I got to ask you some questions before we leave you because we're down to 11 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
I want to get back on topic with your headshot experiences. I have to, because I got to leave right at noon because I got to do this big group shot. I got to drive out there, set up, blah blah blah. It's a busy freaking year. You sound like you're busy, Robin, and I know John's busy. It's been a gangbuster year.
I was smart. I did mine before the podcast.
Yeah, well, that's mine's scheduled. I got to photograph the ladies' auxiliary. Woo! So, but Robin, okay, this Gary Hughes guy, I'm on his website, and he's like, high volume corporate convention headshots. Whoa, there's something there. So he goes to a convention, he pitches them. I'll do all your headshots. Does he charge them, or is it spec, or do you know?
He works a couple of ways. First of all, it's in Orlando. And the thing about Orlando, Florida, is that a lot of conventions and conferences get held there.
Okay, there's that.
He advertises pretty well strictly on Google. He goes for the AdWords or one of those pay-per-clicks. And I can't remember what he said he budgets for it, but I think it's in the hundreds or in the thousands of dollars a month he pays for that.
Yep. It's probably worth it.
But he's incredibly well organized. I mean, like as far as doing the shoots fast, and he has them pick their favorite one there.
But how does he? They come to him and say, "We want you at our convention," or does he approach them and say, "Hey, look, I can come to your convention and offer you guys this"?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he pitches them if from last year sort of thing, or he has people to follow up. But for the most part, they come to him. A lot of these conventions, from what I've seen, are, hey, there's what's his name, Rob Reiner, right?
Yeah.
Who's that look like?
I don't know. So it looks like every photographer I know. But no, they come to him. He does it one of two ways. I think he either charges per head if it's a thing where we're going to be there all day. He charges just the standard day rate. And whether 3 people show up for photos or 3,000 people show up for photos, he gets paid the same thing. It's all digital. Like I said, he's got it down to a science, and was mentioning all this different software that he uses specifically for that.
All right.
But he's really into it because when he goes to convention centers, there's one of the things he insists on is getting access to the high level Wi-Fi in the convention center or in the hotel. I didn't know there was 2, but because everything goes over Wi-Fi as he's shooting.
Yeah.
So it's very high volume, and it's very inspiring. But again, not the kind of work
I like this, and I like doing headshots.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, and I'm on Gary Hughes's website on his pricing, and he's got event and high volume headshot station, 1650 to 3200, up to 4 hours.
Yeah.
On-site image selection, 500 to 900, a must for large group. Anyways, he's got all kinds of options there, as well as his team pricing. So, thanks for sharing that. I mean, geez, this is good. This is good. I hope that if I steal his ideas, he doesn't sue me.
Well, the other interesting thing about him was, and I don't know if I mentioned it, he has a certain amount of information that you're going to get on Creative Live. You can go and buy one of his videos, and they're not very expensive. You can buy videos from him, which are a little more expensive. But when he shows up live to do a talk live, he has all kinds of information that's only available to the people in the audience.
Okay, cool.
His logic is that, if you show up, if you want to, come down and spend the day with me, you're going to learn a lot of stuff you're not going to learn on a video somewhere.
Yeah, that's smart.
I thought it was really good.
And do you concur? Do you agree with that?
I
got a lot more.
Very impressed. I thought, that's really great. I mean, photography is such a huge subject.
No doubt.
But he went through. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. But yeah, he's very, very no nonsense business. Again, a really funny guy. Not my kind of humor, but it was. He also obviously really likes what he does, and everything is well respected.
Cool. What kind of humor? Because we know your humor. I love your humor, man. I've been watching and reading and seeing your stuff, both on your website and your articles for decades. And that's like,
he sort of jokes around, but like with the audience and stuff. But he didn't say this, but it was sort of implied that if somebody asked a question, he'd sort of imply that they were really stupid asking the question. I mean, you know what I mean? And I just thought,
okay,
well,
you can do that and make it like okay, or is he coming across as arrogant?
For the most part, it's like 99%. It's funny, but every so often I'm saying, "Ooh, well, that was a little harsh," and this is coming from me, and I'm kind of, But I meant to tell you, Rob. You reminded me when, as you know, my mom passed away, and I was cleaning out her apartment, and I saw the books that she was reading. And
I saw your post on that.
It was, the type of books she read. It's no wonder she became the person she was. And I thought, that's a lot like Rob Provencher. I said, the guy reads like. Reading for you, it's not like Harlequin romance. It's like, what can I learn from this? And you go through it, line by line, and you really, and I think reading it has really sort of made you the person you.
Yeah, it's important. Are you a reader, Robin?
Oh, big time. Yeah.
So what are you reading right now?
Right now? Geez, I don't know. What am I reading? I'm all over the place. I'm reading Art of War again.
That's a good book. That's a good book.
It is, but it's complicated. And
sorry, I'm thinking of The War of Art.
I got that book. For me, it just didn't work for me.
All right. I loved it so much. I did a highlights PDF and I put it in the forum. I do that when I like a book.
Yeah, and
I'll send it to you.
But I'm going through a lot of the old stuff again. I'm redoing, the Brian Tracy's and the Jim Rowans and the Seth Godins and all business related. I get some spiritual stuff in there, but all business.
What kind of spiritual stuff? Do tell.
Yeah, mostly on meditation and stuff. I'm a big
Buddhism?
yeah, some, but mostly meditation and a little bit on karma and that sort of thing, and I find it really helps.
I'm reading a massive book on it's a biography on Walt Disney. It's
Yeah, oh,
mind-blowing.
I bet.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I took a course a while back on reincarnation, and the course was really expensive, but I figured, hey, what the hell? You only live once, right?
Bada boom. I bought into that one. That's good.
Last time we had a talk, you said, I see we got a minute left.
You guys can keep talking if you want. I got a bolt. That's my thing.
I don't want to talk to him. He won't even come over for coffee.
Yeah. You could have easily saddled up your ponies and booted out to Petawawa instead of going all the way to Chicago or Texas just to get out of Dodge.
He'd get here and go, "Where's everything? I'm going back home."
No, when we talked last time, you had left me with a question, and it was basically, what would you tell your 22-year-old self?
Okay.
And I didn't know. I mean, but I've been thinking about it a long time. It's kind of haunting me, and I think the answer would have been that you have to differentiate between opinion and fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many opinions out there, and people put it through as if it's gospel. Yeah. But you have to make sure it's a real thing and not just opinion.
True.
Because I'm kind of cynical by nature. Big shock, right? And
Big shock.
And yeah, but I've almost been fooled a few times by people's opinions and taking them as gospel. And
I've been going back on YouTube and watching old videos of or the newer videos of Tim Kelly, who I love his stuff, and he's just so old school, I guess you can say. And even though he's using more advanced technology now, he still keeps his old school principles, and I love it. And I've been actually getting inspired by that quite a bit. Yeah,
I saw him at the Winona School. We spent a week with him, and the guy was amazing. This was back when he used to have hair right down to his butt. No shoes, real hippie, but brilliant man, great photographer, great artist in general. He's into music, he's into painting, he's just unbelievable, So
yeah,
you can't go wrong with Tim Kelly.
True.
I remember
Rob got me onto Tim Kelly years ago.
Me?
Yeah, you told me about Tim Kelly.
Oh, I forgot.
We when we were there, he was talking, and he brought, as usual, brings some young model in to pose for him when he's doing his stuff. And she was a young girl, and I'm afraid to ask how young, right? I mean, I'm saying 18, but I'm thinking, anyways. She was sitting there and she says, "So should I take my top off?" And he says, no. And then we're into he's doing the posing and stuff. Okay, I don't mind. I can take my top. It was just
in case.
Yeah, no, just no. We don't. It's not those kind of pictures, But you can see he was really feeling awkward. That
there's a conundrum for you. You got your subject, a beautiful young girl, and you're not sure, and she's offering. It's like
but this
but do you want
to be 25 years ago? But you know what? In this day and age, I wouldn't even take the chance.
No.
I'm just no. No, I'm not. You have no control over that stuff, and no, not taking any chances.
True.
I'm still way too good looking to go to jail.
Exactly.
It'd be fine for John. He'd be fine.
Not only that, you look like Rob Reiner, and they'll think, "Oh, we got a celebrity here."
Yeah.
I got more of that Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson look going here.
You do. Vin Diesel and The
Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Rob Reiner. So who am I? Maybe I shouldn't ask. Never mind. Don't answer.
Don't know.
I got to run. You guys want to carry on and talk for a few more minutes?
Sure. That's up to Robin. We can talk for a little bit.
I'd like to know that you had the 5 questions when you went to Chicago, and you said you don't remember them, but if you must be able to recall 1 or 2.
Yeah,
Can you talk about that for 5 or 10 minutes before you close? Or do you have time?
I'm just looking for my book. I use what they call a rocket book, which is it comes with a pen that's erasable. And what you do is you write in your little notebook, and it has a QR code. So at the end, when you finish writing, you take a picture of the page, and the QR code automatically sends it to either it'll send it anywhere, but it'll send it to Evernote, it'll send it to Dropbox, it'll email it somewhere, and it'll send it to Evernote or your Dropbox in a specific folder. So you can put down that Gary Hughes seminar, you take a picture of it, and all your notes end up there. Anyways, some of the questions had to do with retouching. Occasionally I use a retouching service, and no, I'm not saying which one, only because if I say which one, I started out using these guys, and it took an hour or 2 hours to get my work back, and now it takes like 2, 3, 4 days, only because everybody's using it. So I figured I don't want anybody else using it. So anyways, the problem I've been having is inconsistent. You get work back, and sorry, you're saying to yourself, man, this is 5 stars. And then the next time you get it back, and you think, what the hell? They retouched the blemishes on this side of the face, but not that side of the face.
Yeah.
They took the bag out from this eye and not this. I mean, sending it back again means I have to wait another couple of days. I mean, I could do it myself in 10 minutes, but when you get a big order in of 30 or 40 faces, then you figure, I'll just pay the money and get them to do it. So I had a few questions about that retouching service, and he was a big help there. You know what? The other question I had for him was, and this seems to vary with everyone, when you're doing a headshot, what are you giving the client? Like, you say, okay, well, some headshot, but I mean, well, how big is it high res? Well, how big high res? Is it low res? Is it for Twitter or is it for LinkedIn? What size? And so he broke that down, and that was that. Because I found with me when I was doing headshots, I was given way too many, which is, I would have the whole kit would include a high res for prints, LinkedIn. It would have, one for Instagram, size for Instagram, one for YouTube, one for, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine if you're doing one person. Yep. But if you're doing 30 people and sending it off to the boss, and you got, 15 photos of each person, it's just too much. So
okay, that makes sense. That's a good question.
So I've gone down now. The person gets a one high res and one low res and one specifically for LinkedIn.
Cool.
So everything's there. But
okay, I gotta run. You guys keep talking, okay?
Yeah, I got a few more minutes we can talk in that, and then I got to go set up for Santa pictures.
Thanks, Robin.
Santa pictures.
Yeah. All right, Robbie, have a good shoot.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, no, I do the one of the malls here. I do the Santa pictures for them every year, and it used to be the second last weekend of November we started, but this year we're just starting in December 1st, which is this Friday. So I got to go to the one store here. This year we're doing it out of a Giant Tiger location, so we set up a little station there for Santa, and we do that over the month. We do like it'll be Friday night all day Saturday, and then the next week it's like a Thursday night, Friday night all day Saturday. Then then we go the Sundays, and then the last week we do the whole week until the 23rd. So it's not a big, huge moneymaker, but it is a moneymaker. It brings people, they get to know me, and I've been doing it for 12 years. And now when they need family pictures, I'm one of the first ones that comes to mind, hopefully. So
I've done that too. So the volume stuff at one point, it's not for me. I no longer want to stand there and don't want to be on my feet all day. In fact, it's been getting to the point where I'm thinking, do I want to continue doing families? Getting referrals and stuff, and they're big money, big money. Well,
they can be. It depends what you're doing, but
a whole lot bigger than than headshots and stuff or grad photos, like a lot bigger. But do I really want to do them? I'm at the age and the stage where I'm getting calls for jobs and stuff, and I'm thinking, I just send it to a young guy I know and say, here, I don't want to do conferences. I don't want to do reception coverage. I don't want to do event photography. Just send it to this young guy.
I'm at the same way now too, where I'm starting to streamline. Like I do a lot of the volume. Like we do that. We do Petawatomie hockey and soccer. So we do their team and individual pictures, which is a good money maker for me. So I still do it. And the odd little, like you said, event stuff. But when I do the event stuff now, like I got one this weekend on base there, but it's more of a photo booth type of thing. I don't do
Yep.
the event part itself where it's almost like wedding reception type shots. I have either I'll hire a second shooter, like when we did the grad stuff we were talking about at the Canadian Tire Center there. I have a second shooter that lives in the Ottawa area that does my stage shots. She's out there doing all the candid stuff
Yep.
and that's going across stage. I have no desire to do that, and I just do the backstage studio type stuff. Same with here locally. They have somebody that already does the stage stuff from the college. I do the stuff in the dressing room there where I'm set up like a little studios type thing. That's just what I want to do. I don't want to be running around. I don't do weddings anymore. I got out of it about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I
me
had
too.
no desire to do it anymore. Newborns, I used to do newborns like Rob and that. I got to the point, I just have no desire to do them anymore. So when people call me, it's like, nope, but here's one I recommend to go and get your
Yeah.
newborns done and that. So, and
Yeah.
I do that. I'm like you, I'm sort of starting to streamline it. And who knows, a year or two from now, I might not want to do the stand-up pictures anymore or even the sports stuff. I'm trying to streamline it down where I'm doing a lot more of the podcasting, not only just here, but some
Okay.
other podcasts. Plus, I love doing my headshots. I love doing portraits. I do my family portraits. We do our corporate stuff and headshots. We have a couple of companies here. I do all their headshots. So when they get a new employee, they'll call me up and say, hey, John, we got another one. When can we send them over? And they send them over and we shoot them. And those clients, I give a little bit more of a discount than I do my normal walk-ins, like the real
Yep.
estate agents, because
Oh,
I get them in bulk. I know they're going to be sending stuff to me, whereas a real estate calls me up and says, I need a headshot done. I'm charging them full rate because now I do have a loyalty program. So I will, if a customer comes and hires me to do a shoot, the next time they hire me, I give them like a 20% discount on the sitting fee itself, or creation fee as they call it, as a thank you for coming back to me and not going to another photographer.
see, one
But
of
I
the,
don't give them anything on the files or anything. They still pay full price on stuff like
you know,
that.
I stopped doing any kind of official discount decades ago.
Yeah.
And I, people ask for a discount, which I always find almost insulting, but um, uh, I'm really happy sort of doing a bonus or including extra stuff because,
Mm-hmm.
when I pay my mortgage, when you make a car payment, when
Yeah.
you pay your lab bill, I don't get 20% off.
No, it's
You
true.
know?
Very true.
So I never give a cash discount, but I'll throw in an extra 8x10 or an extra, free upgrade of some
No,
sort.
exactly.
Because you give 20% off, that's money coming out of your pocket.
Very true.
Whereas, if I give somebody an 8x10, which normally sells for $75, costs me $3,
Yeah.
Um, I just you have to watch watch that sort of. It's the same with family discounts and stuff. I mean, other than immediate family, but I give it to them. I give them.
And
a
I
deal.
also learned, who was it? I forget who I learned it from. I think it was something like Sandy Putch or something like that, watching a seminar once about 8 years ago. And one thing they said is with family, because, it was like when my wife's sister wants to get some family portraits done, because she's my wife's sister, I don't charge her for the shoot. But what I've started doing was for family stuff, you don't charge them, but you give them a bill anyways. Give them an invoice
Yes.
that shows the cost of the shoot and what you're giving them and what
Yep.
the breakdown is. And then at the end, you say discount, and
Yep.
the 100% discount, whatever, it comes to $0. And the reason for doing that is it shows the value that you're giving them, so they know that you're what normally it would have cost if you did it. And that way, if anybody else asks them, hey, beautiful head or family portraits, where did you get them done? How much was it? They can say, oh, my brother-in-law did it, and this is what he charges for them. They have a value for it.
I'm not sure, but I've been told that if you give a discount, Revenue Canada still wants the taxes, the HST on the full amount. So
Really?
if you're giving a bill for $500 and I give them $500 off, Revenue Canada could say, "Hey, we want our 13% of $500."
Yeah.
I've heard that a couple times. I haven't actually checked it. I
No.
don't put but. You have to send me your email address because I got an
Definitely.
idea for you that I, again, being the way I am, I don't share this idea with anybody, but it was an idea I got from Gary Hughes that was friggin' brilliant.
Yeah.
But send me an email
I
and
definitely will.
I'll get back to you on that because it might work for you. He comes up with a lot of stuff that was just sheer brilliance. It really was. But like I said, he's and you think Rob's into the business side of it. I mean, this guy's even more so.
Yeah.
It's very well thought out. I mean, you know.
No, I definitely agree with you because I've been watching his stuff maybe for just over a year now. Where I forget, I think it was on YouTube. I saw him one time, and then I took his thing down and went to his website and signed up on his newsletter. So I get it every month, and then I get the thing saying, "Here's a new video on this or video on that," and they're only
Yep.
like anywhere from 2 minutes long up to 10 minutes long, depending on what
Yep.
he's talking about that day. And even just testing like cameras, he uses Canon cameras, I use Canon cameras, so it's nice to see an unbiased person going out and just actually using the camera and then saying what he thought of it and also giving you the cons about it too. That's why I like guys like Jared Polin. I don't know if you know Jared. He does Fro Knows Photo is his tagline because he's got this big afro and it's like froknowsphoto.com.
Nice.
And he does it on YouTube all the time and he does his Fro talk and that and he's always coming out and he uses Canon, he uses Nikon, he uses Sony, he tests them. They even give him sample ones to test before it's even on the market, and then he'll come back and do a whole write up about it on there saying what the pros and the cons are and everything. It's very unbiased because he uses them all. He just wants you to know what's best for you is your decision, but here's what we found when we use this. Here's the pros, here's the cons. Now it's up to you to make a decision if you like it and you want to buy it. So I like doing those kind of unbiased stuff. I hate when you get ones that are just sponsored by that company.
Yeah.
You know they're not going to sit there and say anything negative about it, or at least they might throw the one little thing negative just to make it look real, but really they're
Like legit.
and that same with the printer. Like I'm looking at getting a new printer here too, so I can do up to 11x14 here on location. And I was looking at even the Canon Pro 1000, the 100 before the 200 came out. And I think even the 300's out now or something.
For location, eh?
No, I'm looking for here, like not on location,
okay.
sorry, but for here in the studio. Instead of having to send them to my lab, if a customer's just ordering a couple 8x10s and 5x7s, just print them here on the spot would be a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
And I know like, is it Salson Cott, I think, and even what's her name from New Zealand there, Sue Bryce, and that they use like the Canon 1000 or something like that. Maggie, who we've had on the show here in Oakville, Ontario, she has the big, large format one that she uses. So I'm looking at getting one too. So I'll be curious to see what you think of the 200 once you start using it more and see what the quality's like.
It was frustrating at the beginning. The only real problem I have now is the warm up time. Like it's it's not like my regular printer where you get on a print done. This thing you have to turn it on and then I think, is it printing or not? And then 5 minutes later it starts coming off. So, but I only use it like every couple of days. I'm not using it all day long. But so far I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see. We'll see how things are in the long run.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I feel guilty about sending less work to my to the Pro Lab I've been using because they're so good to me and the customer service is amazing. Oh, gotta go. There's
you gotta go.
Yeah.
No, I thank you for coming on today again, and I know we'll get you back again. You're going to become a regular.
I hope so. Take care.
Take care. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye.